So I'm in the middle of my spring break for work and school. They coincidentally fall at the same time. And instead of doing something productive like laundry or unpacking from the trip I just took to San Francisco with my husband, or, grocery shopping so we could eat normal food instead of ordering out a bunch, I do something different instead. I decide to read at an intense rate. That's right. I am going to read Cassandra Clare for 24 hours straight, wasting a whole day, but gaining so much more. So, to start myself off, I started at 10:35 this morning, and I finished my first book at 7:05 this evening, and I listened to it as an audiobook. So it was the last book of the Infernal Devices series, Clockwork Princess. And I'm going to talk about that series just for a moment because, how can I not talk about that series just for a moment? It was a piece of art. I loved it more than I loved The Mortal Instruments when I read that for the first time. It was forever ago, so I don't remember a lot about it, and I'm going to read it next, but I digress. I loved the Infernal Devices series so much. Let's preface this with I don't like love triangles. It's not a trope I enjoy to read. It stresses me out a lot, and it makes me angry too. And for those reasons, I stay away from it. But was this a love triangle I could get myself behind? It was wonderful. I loved both the boys. And while I did love Will more, I'm a total Will. He is my favorite Cassandra Clare character so far. I also really, really love Jem. And so I was torn most of the book about who I wanted her to end up with, and I felt like I was betraying Will every time I loved Jem a little more, and it was just all a mess in my heart and my soul. But that's what a good book does to you. And so I gave that book 5 out of 5 stars, loved the epilogue, so satisfying. I know some people would argue that it is a little bit of a cop-out maybe, but I don't care. I am mad at it. I am mad at it at all. And so for that reason, definitely 5 stars out of 5. I rated the other 2 5 stars out of 5, so good job, Cassie Clare. I enjoyed it. Now I'm going to move on to the first book of the Mortal Instrument series, which is City of Bones. I haven't read this series in a really long time. I remember the first one pretty vividly, and I remember lots of pieces of the next ones, but I haven't even read the 6th one. So I don't think I'm going to get to the 6th one, but we're going to try our hardest, and I've got a bunch more hours to do it. And so my coffee count is at 2. And I'm going to possibly make my 3rd coffee coming up in the next hour. And it is, what time is it? It is 7:21, and I'm going to start the next book. Talk to you soon. So, in reading this, I'm getting slightly bogged down by the logistical inaccuracies, reading through Infernal Devices through this and thinking of the Infernal Devices as this prequel to the series. And I've learned mostly through my friend Mackenzie because she made this point, and as she said it, I said, ding, that makes total sense. To read this series, I would read it in publication order and not timeline order because of these. You don't want to get bogged down by those logistical things. And by logistical, I mean in reference to Isabel Lightwood's mom is one of the first fighting female shadow hunters, but then you have to think way back in the 1800s when Charlotte was around. And so, yeah, the Infernal Devices were definitely written after the Mortal Instruments, and you have to kind of think of it in that way. And now that I've like recognized this, I feel like I can move forward with my reading and try not to let those weigh me down when I'm writing out my stream of conscious thoughts in my journal. And I'm happy about that. Yeah. I just finished the first of the Mortal Instruments series, City of Bones. It's 1:28 in the morning. Here are a few of my thoughts just to sprinkle in here. There is a whole lot of male jealousy going on in this book. That should be the alternate title, City of Males, Fragile Egos, and What They Do When They Are Jealous. And just add a sprinkle winkle of daddy issues in there, and you've got literally 90% of the male characters in City of Bones. It didn't age well with the outfits, I will say that for sure. Pop culture really kind of screwed this one over. I mean, Clary wore Skechers. Nobody wears Skechers anymore. Are Skechers even a brand anymore? Who knows? But anyway, I'm moving on to City of Ashes. I'm going to give City of Bones a 4 out of 5 stars. And we're going to move on to City of Ashes and see what time I finish that. Okay, so why are all Institute cats named Church? Or just 2 Institute cats named Church? Is this significant? Is it just a coincidence? Did Cassandra Clare just like naming cats Church? Questions I ponder. The Inquisitor is a Herondale. Tessa would be ashamed of your actions. You should be ashamed of your actions speaking to poor Jace like this. Poor Jace. And so starts Alec and Magnus Bane. I love them so much. Don't you hate it when you've been pronouncing a character's name wrong in your head this whole time, and then they do like a pronunciation in the book and you're just like, oh shit, now I have to retrain my brain. And then the whole time you're reading it, you think, Maurice? No, Maris. No, Maurice? No, Maris. 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 I might be losing it. Through Mortal Instruments and Infernal Devices, I have come to see that Cassandra Clare loves herself a dark boy that just lashes out when he's hurt. And I must say, I love it too. My heart just leaks for Jace and his daddy issues. God, they're bad. Poor Jace. I remember feeling this when I read it the first time too. Poor Jace. 6:40 in the morning, and I just finished City of Ashes, the second book of the Mortal Instruments series. I'm really tired, so I don't really have much to say about it right now. I'm just gonna barrel on through to book number 3 because I really want to get it done before the 24 hours are up. So yeah, I'm going to go read it. It's 4:30 and my wall is quickly approaching. I'm going to hit it soon, head on. But I'm pushing through. I would make myself more coffee, but there's not much coffee left in the house. I really, really should have checked the coffee levels before starting this endeavor, but, you know, not the smartest in the bunch. I might sacrifice one of the last ones left to make it. It would be cup number 5 for me. Is that gonna kill you?
the 5th cup of coffee.
So I'm at the point where Luke is yelling at Clary because she threw a tantrum and made a portal to Idris all on her own, all on her little lonesome. And I'd have to say, I don't remember if as a teenager I was on Clary's side or Luke's side. I would like to think that I've been always on Luke's side, that I've always been a rational thinker, but that's not true. So now I'm totally on Luke's side. She did throw a tantrum. She threw a gigantic tantrum, and she made a highly emotional, rash decision because she is a small child. She's a small child. Now Izzy is calling Clary out on her shit, and just like, I love it. I love it so much. So I am about a half hour past my 24-hour mark, and I am 61% done with my book, and according to my Kindle, I have about 2.5 hours left to read. And you know what? My psycho butt is just gonna keep reading. Just gonna keep reading. So I'm on hour 20-something of this read-a-thon, and my brain is going in this deep political rabbit hole, I guess you could say, where I can see the ties to society and the racism and the homophobia of the clave, and I can see like Valentine is like a white supremacist. I see it all. And I know like I probably saw it earlier too, but I've been reading so fast that now is my time that I'm like reflecting on it. And now shouldn't be the time I'm like reflecting on it, because I just want to finish this book and I'm running out of hours. I would like to start this video off with saying that I filmed 2 minutes of something and never pressed record. That is literally how tired I am at this point. It is 12:25, which is 2 hours and 20 minutes over my start time of the 24-hour read-a-thon, and I finished book 3 of the Mortal Instruments series, City of Glass. And I'd just like to start out by saying that this very much felt like the ending of the series. Now, I've come to learn that this is not only supposed to be the original ending of the series, it was supposed to be a trilogy, but she wrote that, then she wrote Infernal Devices, and then she went back and wrote 4, 5, 6 of Mortal Instruments. Now, I wonder why she wrote 4, 5, 6, because 1, 2, 3 has such a solid ending, and I was left so satisfied, though I do see pieces of the epilogue that she left to be covered in 4, 5, and 6. I was totally satisfied with 1, 2, 3 and would have been happy with an ending. But maybe it was she wanted to pander for the fans, maybe she had more story to tell. I have no idea. All I know is that I'm very interested in what's going to happen in 4, 5, 6 because I don't remember it at all. I've read 4 and 5 and I don't remember them whatsoever. I remember what happened in 1, 2, and 3 vividly. The whole book, nothing was a surprise to me. The only thing that was a surprise was how did I not see it when I read it the first time? It was so obvious with all the little hints sprinkled throughout there. But I wasn't shocked by anything. I knew it all. And I love the story just the same. I will give City of Glass 4 stars out of 5, just like the other 2. Though, Infernal Devices were all 5 stars for me, because nothing will beat Jem and Will in my mind. They are perfect, and I love them, and I love Tessa, and I just love them. And so they are my favorite Shadowhunters iteration so far. I plan on going and reading 4, 5, and 6 during April before I get to any other books in my TBR, and so I'll let you guys know with an update what I thought about that. As for right now, I'm just gonna leave any other thoughts I have to my outro, and I will talk to you guys soon. Here are my final thoughts on this experience. I don't think I'll be doing it again anytime soon. While I enjoyed it while it was happening, it turned me into a complete out of my mind crazy person for the rest of the day. I stayed up till like 5:30 p.m. and was out of my mind, insane, sobbing mess, just completely out of my mind crazy, loopy, absolutely just destroyed, and I couldn't go to sleep until like 5:30, even though my body was screaming at me to do it. I think I'm just too old for this shit now. Wah. Anyway, these are my final reading times right there, and what book I read when. I gave the Mortal Instruments books a 4, and I gave the last Infernal Devices a 5, and I enjoyed the stories as opposed to what it actually did to my body. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought of my video, let me know if you've done a 24-hour read-a-thon and what crazy reasons you used to justify that. My crazy reasons was I have no justification, and that's that. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a long one, and I appreciate it if you've watched till the very end. Thank you, and we'll catch you soon.